What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in once again, man, and we are back at it like a motherfucking crack addict today with a very special vid. Back at it with one of those movie reviews, man. Beauty, I was gonna say for me, Beauty and the Beast. I'll be the Beast today, man. I got the horns and all that. Beauty and the Beast just recently opened up in theaters, and we're kind of delayed on a little bit on the whole movie itself. I was traveling at the time, so I was unable to get that review out as soon as it was done seeing it. But we was able to see it the night before it actually released. Yeah. And me and her kind of have differences when it comes to the movie. Me being so to like it a little bit, and her being somewhat disappointed. So I thought we would kind of talk about a little bit of the movie, the review behind it, and then go down to what the pros and the cons of the movie if you haven't seen it already. So the movie starts out and pretty much as you would say, right? Because I mean, I can't really remember Beauty and the Beast.
It pretty much followed the movie, the animated movie, like
90% or 95?
Probably about 97%, 95%.
So it was some extra scenes here and there. Was there some extra songs you were saying too?
There was like a few extra songs, but pretty much it like followed the movie.
Which was basically, I was gonna say Alice. What's
Belle.
Belle, yeah, I don't know how I said
Belle.
Yes, Belle, comes through walking, doing her little thing, and there's like this whole musical going on, and then Gustav, right? I'm saying it correctly. Right? Gusto? Okay, well, I thought it's an A-V. Gustav. I call him Gustav. And he's trying to get her. He's in love with Belle. Belle's like that, the weird. I mean, everybody thinks she's beautiful, but she's weird. And all the women hate her because, because Gustav wants her. And, it's just the typical things. But actually, before that, didn't it start off with the Beast and how he became the Beast? He was a really rich man. He used to throw parties all around the town. And the enchantress woman comes through and she wants to have somewhere to stay. But the Beast, at the time, he was a normal man, but he was very mean and did not allow her to come in, and she revealed herself and caused a curse on him. This is how the animated, if you've seen the animated, then it's pretty much like I'm kind of just saying what you already know. But she cast a spell on him. He's a beast. He can't turn back into a human being unless he finds true love before the rose petals fall. And once the last rose petal fall, then he's stuck like that forever. Also, his friends and people that people that are in his mansion that work for him all become like furniture, and that's something, the light candle. You got the teacup. You got the who else we got? The closet, the light, yeah. The dresser, the woman, the piano, and all that. And all his people become that, and they're also put upon that curse. And then Belle, like I said, she was, that's when she showed up. You saw the Gustav, the whole entrance of all the movie, the whole sing along and all that. And then her father, Belle's father, was a clock worker. He'd fix clocks for a living, correct? So he was
like a gadget.
More of a gadget guy.
Clocks.
Okay. Basically, to sum that up, he had fixed the clock for somebody, and he was going to return it to that person, but it was raining.
I don't think he was returning. He was going to sell it.
Oh, he was going somewhere.
Yeah, he was going somewhere.
He was going somewhere with it, and what ended up happening, it was snowing bad or something. No, like a lightning bolt struck, and a tree came and fell down, obstructing the place. But there was like another passageway, which anybody in today's time would be like, hell no, we're not going down that way. We're turning back. I'll come back another day. But no, he wants to go down there. So he goes down there, and he just don't care. He just welcomed himself in the house, walking in this dude's house. Yeah. All up in his house is up. Thanks for the food. Thanks for this and that. He just everything. He went in, did all that, then he left because he saw the teacup speak to him, and he was freaked out, so he left and dipped. But before he left, he went to go get a rose, and that's when the Beast comes out of nowhere, and he's like, oh, and it froze. Now that was different than the animated movie, right?
It was.
Okay.
In the animated version, the dad actually drank from the teacup and talked to them, and while he was sitting in the chair, that's when the Beast came.
Okay, so
took him.
So the Beast, took him for stealing the rose and put him in the, inside the cage, and that's when the horse.
But he never took a rose in the animated.
Well, I'm saying, yeah. In the animated, he never took a rose, but in the movie, he took a rose. And the horse Philippe, knew what was going on, and the horse Philippe ran back to the village, and that's when Belle kind of knew something was wrong, because that horse was smart. Yeah. The horse was extremely smart. So Belle hops back on the horse and heads the horse takes her to where it's going on, where everything's happening, and that's when she actually, I wish I forgot to mention about her father too, these wolves tried to attack her. Same thing happened to her father as well, happened to her, where these wolves are trying to attack her and everything, and she just somehow gets through all that and gets to the mansion, and that's when she starts walking through and trying to find them, and she finds her dad, and that's when the beast comes out of nowhere, bam, and it's just like this monstrous figure, and she's like, what the hell, everybody's crazy. And basically,
but that's what the difference is
in the movie,
in the animated, she didn't get attacked by the
wolves
until she tried to escape.
That's another different part of this, the animation with the movie, the what's this called,
live action.
Yeah, live action. The live action to the animation. My bad. So then she asks the beast to let me talk to my father once again, and she talks to him, and they're talking, and then all of a sudden she pushes her dad out of the gate and closes the door, and basically swaps. She becomes the prisoner, which also did not happen, right?
Yeah, it didn't happen in animated. They just switched.
Okay.
There was no like having to force anything.
Yeah, so she pushed him out and locked the door, and he called her foolish, and then the dad got sent back to the damn village. But it was only like for a little bit after that she was welcomed by all the furniture in the house, and they took her and gave her a room, got her situated and all that. And then at the same time, that's when her father gets back and tells Gustav, right, about the place, about what's going on. And then Gustav and all of them like, let's go check it out, let's go see. And that's slightly different, but not fully. It's somewhat different, but not, because they thought he was crazy off the rip, right?
Yeah.
But not in the movie. They actually go to see if the beast is actually in, they try to go find the beast. They can't find him, and eventually Gustav socks Belle's dad and knocks his ass out. And it's just kind of I don't know what, it was kind of weird. They tied him up and left him on a tree stump, completely tied up, just to die, which he gets out of from the enchanted woman, and goes back to the village and tells them about what Gustav did. But then they try to say that Gustav tries to say that Belle's dad is a lunatic, and that's when they go try to lock him up. So I'm speaking on one side, that's that side of the story. But over here we have a lot more going on in the castle of the beast, and that is, like I said, they invited her, they took her out, they gave her a room, they invited her for dinner, did all that. So let me stop back, because I kind of went a little bit too further without remembering. So they got her the room, and then the beast, the furniture was telling him basically, you need to try to win her over. This could be the one. So then he tries to be cool and invites her for dinner, but she's like, I'm not coming down there. And he's banging well, forget you then, don't eat or whatever and all that. And then she ends up going down though, and the whole Be Our Guest song is going on. They're eating, and all this crazy fireworks goes on and all that. She has a great time, and then she heads up towards the room. But that's when she goes to the west room, where the beast is actually staying, and she gets into his place and kind of starts looking and stuff, and she sees this rose, and he finds her with that rose and just freaks out because he thinks she touched it or took it off. And she's horrified by his anger and all that, and she basically just dips.
Yeah, she get out,
and she runs, she leaves, she starts running and gets the hell on. But on her way, that's when these wolves come back again, and they begin to try to kill her and take her and all that. But then the beast comes out of nowhere, being victorious, and saves her life. But it cost him, he almost died. He basically fainted, passed out, and was just gone. She could have just kept going, but she kind of felt like she owed him. So she took care of him. Yeah, put him on the horse, took him back to the place, took care of him for 3 days or something like that. It was a couple of days. But once she was fully healed, that's when he showed her his library, and they started spending time with each other.
Well, it was more like a few weeks or something.
Okay, well, it was moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
His whole recovery is it didn't show weeks. It was showing 3-4 different times of him getting better. But then she was kind of you could tell there was something going on, a little spark here and there. They were showing basically him growing up and how he had a bad growing up and all that. But then they move into her and having a library, and Belle loves to read, and that's when it really just started, the whole her falling for him, having this fabulous library. I mean, these girls, they just only want material things in life.
Not me.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens with that. And then he was also he was playing with the horse, and then she was singing her song about
the regular song, the something there that wasn't there.
Okay, yeah, well, basically, that song was playing, and then he asked her to meet him for dinner, right? The dinner.
Before that, he asked, in this new version, he gave her that map, and they prepared.
Oh, yeah.
That was something
so that's an
different.
extra that was not even in this. They actually you know, he opened up a book, and wherever she put her hand, she could go there. And she put her hand. They took her to some place in Paris, which was
where her
mom died and where she was born at. And you see her mother give her daughter that rose, and that's where the rose symbolization comes from. Like, why her father tried to give her a rose, and he kind of understood it. Like, the rose was like the last thing that her mother gave her, and you kind of see like how the mother died, which was basically from like a C-section, too much blood or something.
No, it was the plague.
Oh yeah, the plague. Okay, but yeah. See, I'm fucking up here. Forgive me. Work with me, guys. Damn.
She was sick back then. Then they didn't have medication.
Yeah, they didn't have medication. Then they come back. She's crying. She's going crazy. Like, she's heard about that, but then he's comforting her. And then the dinner thing starts. Right? Then he invites her for dinner. They go. They have a dinner, which is great.
They get dressed up.
They get dressed up. Yeah. Then the scene that we all know, the dance with the circleizations and all that goes on, and it's just all that. And then meanwhile, back in the village, Pops is like locked up right now, and he's just suffering. And
well, no. Because you forgot that he went to the witch. The witch finds...
What? I said that. Oh, I said the enchantess. You know, yeah.
Okay.
So he's locked up now. They called him crazy. They called him crazy. They called him crazy. And then what ends up happening after that little dance, you know, the Belle talks about how she misses her father and she wants like to go see, like, you know, go see him, let her know that he's okay and like that, like let her know everything's okay. And he's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. So the beast let her go, and she went back to the village, and he gave her the mirror and was like, if you ever want to see me or look back at me, you can always get this mirror. So she gets back, she finds out about her dad, you know, in prison, and then Gustav is like, your dad was saying something about a beast lying. She's like, no, this is the beast, it is real. And she shows the mirror with the beast, and that's when everybody's like, oh, it's witchery, it's a demon, it's this and that, it's this and that, and they just start going crazy. And basically Gustav takes the mirror and wants to know how to get to the beast, and everybody in the town goes.
Well, another thing is he's actually a hunter.
Who?
Gustav.
Okay.
That's why he wanted to go get the beast and kill him to put him on the wall too.
In that place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you
He's
go.
like a famous hunter.
Okay.
So that's one thing about his character.
So then he wanted to go and get the beast. So then they follow the mirror and just basically go all the way to the place, and start just going in. They break through the beast, through the castle. They start like, and then all the furniture starts fighting. The furniture whooping their ass. The furniture whoops their ass. And Belle and her dad are back at the town and locked in this little thing, but they finesse their way out, are able to flee. Well, her dad stays, Belle leaves, gets on the horse, right, and leaves. They don't both go. So Belle's running back to the castle. And then she gets back to the castle. The beast is fighting Gustav, and the furniture's fighting all the people in the town. And then basically it just starts getting really crazy at this point. Like, they're fucking on ceilings and shit, jumping around and like shooting. He's trying to shoot the beast and kill him, and it's just getting crazy. And then I remember that the beast saw Belle, and that's when he just really turned up, like, you know. And Gustav shot him in the back 2-3 times though. But then Gustav like ends up dying because like the tower's just collapsing. Like, everything is just collapsing. Everything is just crumbling. So then everything crumbles, but then Gustav dies. The furniture beats up everybody, and then the beast faints right by the flower, and then Rose meets him there, and he dies. The beast dies. Really sad moment. Did the beast die in the animated?
Well, he kind of like fainted.
Fainted more so. He dies in this one. That nigga died. And then Rose kissed him and said, "I love you," right? And then the enchantress pops up. And then basically does her magical powers, rises him up, and he's back to normal.
And that's what the ending was way different.
And then then once that happens, everybody starts like becoming back human being, all the things, and it's like kind of weird. I don't know if they did this in animation, but once the curse was fixed, everybody remembered that like this was where we used to party.
Yeah, that was something different.
Everybody was like, this is the castle we used to be at, and then like people was reuniting with family members and stuff, like and dude reunited with his wife, and he didn't love his wife, Mr. Potts or something. Like it was just like it was kind of different when it came to that.
Well, yeah, like the way Gustav dies at the end, the way the beast comes back to life, and the way all the equipment or the things, the furniture comes back to life was different from animation versus live action.
But that is the way the movie kind of ends off. Now, forgive me if I'm kind of rough on this one, because this movie, guys, was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It was 2 hours long, though. Like it was last week and it was 2 hours long, so it's a pretty long movie. But just forgive us that. But now I wanted to go into the main topic, which is what we didn't like and what we did like. You know, mainly with Nicole, she did not like the movie so much. Me, on the other hand, I did like it. So you want to go ahead and let them know?
I mean, me personally, I had higher expectations for the film. So overall, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. I gave it what, 8?
I said 7.
7.5.
Yeah,
8.
you said 7.5, I think.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, so I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. And I was expecting to give it like a 9, like one of my top favorite movies. But it wasn't. Well, I've been waiting for this movie for 2 years, and I don't know. It's just like, one, the characters that were chosen. I don't know if I love Hermione, but I didn't really like
the
her.
character Hermione. We can only think of her as Harry Potter, but yes, definitely that was my main thing I did not like, was the character choice. I did not feel like none of the characters. I feel like they should have went with some really popular actors. Honestly, like I don't know, like
Hermione's pretty popular.
Yeah, but she's like the most popular one. We felt like Belle was too young in the movie, maybe too.
Yeah, that too. But I don't know. When I think of Belle, I think of something just like.
Usually those characters are young too.
Gorgeous.
Angelina Jolie, too old.
Yeah, she did Maleficent.
Maleficent. Oh, okay. So yeah, we just feel like, and then the Beast. I mean, look, I'm a man. I have a girlfriend. I'm gonna say it right here. They need a sexy Beast. That nigga need to be sexy, bro. And that nigga, I don't know who the hell he was. That dude looked like that nigga looked kind of weird. And he had a wig on, right? Like you could tell it was a wig. I don't know. They just needed somebody a sexier Beast. That just the character did not match. But that was my biggest thing about it. I did like, for one of the things I really did like about the movie though was the CGI. It was dead on.
Didn't like.
Okay, well, one thing we both agreed on, we did not like the Beast. The Beast was skinny. He wasn't big. Like when in the animated, he was a big ass beast. Like his hair was like buff like this,
fluffy. And
it was like on this one is slender, you know. And I know they're trying to make it more realistic. I don't know. I think he should just went all out and made it look exactly like how it did in the movie. But compared to that, it just didn't look the same to me. It didn't look the same. But the furniture, you said that the furniture did look good. The way that everything was moving, it looked real. Like when the furniture was fighting, it looked like real.
I like the furniture characters, but like for me, it was much CGI. I could tell like what parts were green.
It blended with me pretty good.
I could tell.
Oh, excuse me. It blended for me. For her, it didn't. But you know that part I did like. Did you like the part that it followed the movie strong?
I did, but I just feel like I wasn't like
wowed at all.
I wasn't wowed.
It didn't bring the movie to life.
It did a little bit, but it wasn't like what I was expecting. I was expecting to be emotional throughout this movie, like really into it. I didn't get that. And I usually can get emotional. Yeah, she can, guys. She's cried multiple times. So I don't know. What else did you like, if anything? I mean, my favorite parts were the ending and the dancing scene. That was pretty much. You said you was about to cry on that part. It was a little bit, but it wasn't as much as I thought I was going to be doing. Yeah. Like my expectations were much higher. She wanted to be going in as opposed to when I came out. So yeah, guys, you heard it here. That is our quick Beauty and the Beast. The wrongs, the rights, and review. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, you comment down below, and subscribe. Go and subscribe to Nikki's channel. I will leave that down below as well. And if you want to see more of these type of reviews, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you leave your comments down so we can know what you guys thought about it. Did you like it? Did it meet your expectations? I'm 25, she's 23, so we grew up on this movie. But me, honestly, I can't even remember this shit. I was like, he basically didn't watch Beauty and the Beast. Let's just put it like that. I did watch it when I was little. I just can't remember it. I just can't remember the movie. You was like watching the movie for the first time when we were in the theater. Yeah, because I can't remember it. You basically watched it once in his life. All right, whatever. Look, hey, count. One more thing. Lion King. When they do that real shit, y'all better make that shit pop. I want to cry. Hey, it's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in, checking out. Peace. I want adventure in the great white somewhere.
Hello?
I want it more than I can tell.
Come into the light.
For once it might be grand.
What if she is the one?
To have someone